Alright guys, so I'm going to be going the healing build. This is also called the shield build, and the basis of the healing build is between a level 1 talent, which is you heal your target over 4 seconds while there's shields on them, level 4 where your shield persists even when you leave. Then you use the low cooldowns of your Q, because your E has a 12-second cooldown, you drop it quickly to use the short 4-second cooldown of Symbiote to pop back on and have a refreshed cooldown for your E. When the game starts as Abathur, I always like to walk mid lane first so that the first Locust Strain goes mid so they don't know where you're going, and then I like to wander my way into another lane. In this case, I'm going to leave the Locust Strain mid. I'm going to wander down into the bot lane right about here. However, I will be watching mid lane because that is where I'm actually going to be helping my team. Then I'm going to place my W's into the bushes, the areas that they're going to be rotating, and any other areas that we might want vision of the team that's moving around. I don't use W's for damage unless I'm using it for wave clear. In this case, it should go pretty well for us. We have a decent amount of people mid. I can soak top if needed. I will just probably Z up here really quick. And then we'll have Chen that's probably going to be on his way up here. So I'm just going to simply drop a couple things over, and I'm going to give a nice shield onto the Chen as well as a decent amount of healing. We do have someone who's rotating up. I will put a couple strains in here, make sure that I can see them when they're rotating up. I believe it's just the Nazebo, so I will try to get away without taking any damage, but I'll probably take at least one little hit. In this case, I was fine. I do see... Now, watching the mini-map is very important on what's his name? Abathur. Sorry, forgot who I was playing. I'm going to handle mid lane. The reason why I'm going to handle mid lane, I'm rotating the wrong way. I might be able to bait him a little bit, though, which is nice. I was rotating mid lane, and then I went to go ping, and I accidentally clicked it wrong. But I'm going to rotate mid lane, and the reason why is I want to help my team out so that our Alexstrasza can join our team. You never want your Alexstrasza in a solo lane. And in this case, she's sitting mid. I'm going to tell her to back up. I can handle mid lane on my own. I'm even going to throw a couple things here so that when the lane gets here, it'll die faster. And this way, I need to sometimes tell your team. You got to make sure that your team knows what you're planning, what you're doing. And in this case, I'm telling Alexstrasza that I can handle this lane without her, and it should work out pretty well for us. My goal is either that the Chen will double soak like what he's doing. Need to get a good heal onto her, but I will want to join the team in just a second. Now, these fights are always tough for Abathur early on. You want to take slow fights until Abathur's level 10, then you want to take fast fights. I'm going to Z up here, make sure that we're not missing too much soak. We missed a couple minions, but not too many, which is really nice, so we're still okay. I do have my power spike, my initial power spike, so it's easy for me to heal people because I just Q, E, R, and then I do the same thing over and over again. As you can see, the heal stopped, I go Q, E, R, and then once again, he's got healing over time on him, and they go for him, and it's fine. All I do, once again, Q, E, R, and he gets healing again. And I can do this over and over and over and pad my stats. I mean, heal my team. And it's just a really effective way to keep everything rolling. Now, what we will want to do here is we're going to want to get some vision in different areas. We also want to help out this Chen. Whenever you get opportunities where your team dives on someone, you want to make sure you're getting something out of it. And once again, we're going to want to, again, Q, E, R. You can throw your other abilities as well after you Q. And we will get a nice camp up there. I do want to get some experience of all this dying up here. See if we can get some more value, and we can cost them 2 waves of experience if they don't come up here and get this. So this could be really, really valuable for us. But unfortunately, Nazebo does get up there, so he's going to be getting that experience. They're forcing the team to stay down. I can tell them I have bots, no worries. And I will place a W into one of these. I'm actually not in range at the moment, so I may not do this. But again, we're winning this objective. Just want to keep getting the everything off, get some extra damage in, and I just want to keep healing everyone. So I will actually Z down here as they are pushing this wave in, or at least the Brightwing is. They are losing a ton of this objective. So once again, just getting some value, some quick value. A lot of people are going in on this Chen, QER. Now I want to get on this Diablo, make sure that he's going to be okay. QER. Oh, I got back on Chen. Wait, one more hit? No. Would have been fun, though. I'm going to step forward. As Brightwing has already left the lane, I'm going to step my way up here so that I get experience from all of these during this objective. And I want to make sure that we keep getting healed. I'm surprised we haven't gone Dragon Queen yet. Maybe they did, and I just haven't seen it. But that's something that you normally would want to be doing during this part of the objective so you can win the last little bit. In this case, I'm just going to try to heal everyone up, as well as still getting soak out of the bottom lane this entire time. And I can step forward if needed, but effectively they're going to be losing a lot of experience from this. And I am going to be getting Mule at this level. Mule makes it to where you can win an objective, or you could lose an objective and have it to where the enemies won't actually officially finish something, so you won't get a huge like experience disadvantage from it. In this case, we only need a couple, and we weren't able to get it. I probably could have stayed on a little bit longer. I'm going to get a Q off and finish him off. But the cool part about this is, as this mortal, or this Punisher, is dealing damage to our base, I can simply place a Mule over here, and it can start repairing a lot of it. So this is really good for us. I will need to be cautious, though, because as an Abathur, when the objective is over, people now will start searching for you. So I'm going to just place some vision over here and be in the position where I can leave if needed. And I probably am going to leave earlier than later, purely because I don't know where any of them are. So I will need to back up, and he is saying that as well. And if you've ever played as an Abathur, you know that when the objective's down, you need to start repositioning. I'm going to place just a couple things here so that if they push, we can do some extra damage to whatever shows up. I'm just going to position to where when things start getting hit by the towers, I gain experience from it. I also want to make sure that I'm in a position where I can be joining my team, giving them shields, giving them some extra damage, as well as anything else. And again, I'm just going to get as many of these over here so when they push in, it's going to do a lot of damage. Good thing the Junkrat missed with all of his abilities, so watch how much this does. Blows up the entire front line, making it easy for me to deal with the rest of this and still gain experience. We do see a fight coming in here. We want slow fights until level 10. And I'm still soaking. I did soak that entire wave of experience, which is good for us. And I will likely go up here and soak a couple more as we are doing this camp. There is a fight going on, so I need to stop soaking. And I need to switch into more of an offensive measure. And as you can see, I'm shielding one of our damage dealers. I'm going to be using a Mule over a mid lane, and I want to get on this Diablo quick, give him some nice heals so that he can get back in this fight. Greymane will need the next heals. Unfortunately, it was on cooldown, so there's only so much I can do. And I will want to jump top as nobody's top lane. Oh, I don't want to jump top anymore. You can cancel your jump by entering any movement command. So that's essentially what I did. I saw the Nazebo was top. I didn't think anyone was up there. I canceled the jump later. I can, however, jump up here while the Nazebo is pushing and catch the wave that he's sending while also getting some extra damage off. I'm getting clones, so we no longer have these awkward 4v5s, and we can have some awkward 5v5s, which will be pretty nice for us. And we will need some nice interventions soon. The next objective's top, which means that I can get a lot of value bottom again by just soaking while my team's doing other things. Now, the way that this evolution works, your main goal is to do it before a big fight happens, and your next goal is essentially to take damage for your team, because it's okay if you lose this, because essentially you're only losing a clone. It's not a big deal. So 70 seconds, you're back, but you didn't lose any experience for your team. We've tested it 100 times. The clone gives absolutely no experience, not even an experience of killing a minion or a summon or anything. It's 0 experience, so it's a great way to burn up a lot of resources of the enemy. Now that we've killed the Rhaegar, they have essentially no tank, which is really nice. I will want to give some healing and shielding to the Greymane, but he won't want to dive in there, and I do want to try to defend this. I'm going to drop down a Mule just so we have a higher chance of surviving against this, but the enemies, or our team, will rotate up here in a little bit, which will be pretty nice. They'll be able to clear this up, and I might want to rotate down bot and just kind of hang out down here as this objective is going on. So I'm just going to pop down here, get some more of these just to stop the push if they push too hard, and we do have a Brightwing who teleported somewhere. They're probably going to go for a camp. I'm just going to help them out here just a tad. And I'm going to go kill off some of these minions, get some experience. They're probably getting this camp. Yep, they are. I'm going to go mid. I'm going to try to get our team level 13 before this objective. We're already getting half of it. It would be nice if we can get a good chunk of experience. So I'm just going to kill some stuff, try to get pretty close. We do see them rotating up, so I'm going to step down here once again. I'm going to just use a chain command, and I'm going to watch my team. In fact, I do have my clone back, so I'm going to clone the Greymane, and let's burn down their tank really quick. That's my goal. If we can burn down their tank, we're in a good position. We can also get some damage off on some other people. And they are using a lot of resources on me, which is really good for us. So while we did lose the Chen, he probably could have just ulted for it. This is actually pretty good for us. I'm still soaking bottom. We're going to hit 13 before them. And we did still take out the bear for a couple seconds, so they have no tank. We will just want to keep getting these slower fights, but just getting some value here and there. We can kill off this Gul'dan with a Q, as well as the Greymane will go down. I don't have another shield for 2 seconds. Actually, nice. We were able to keep him up. I'm still soaking this lane. I will be going to mid lane and soak mid lane as well, and I want to save this Diablo while I'm soaking the mid lane. So, again, keep getting shields out. I like to get the burst heal, because then if your tank can get in there like this, they can get a big heal. I'm being attacked by minions, so I have to step back. But I still was able to get that big heal on Diablo before, and I'm still getting soak mid lane. So we are able to get that level 13 before the enemies got it, as well as I'm going to try to blow up this wave before it gets too close. I want to stand behind. As much as I'm going to lose some experience here, oh, maybe I'll get the experience. All right. I still will lose a lot of experience in this lane, but we're not going to lose anything else. I'm going to use a mule to save our fountain, and I'm just going to give some shields to our team. Possibly even clone the Greymane if I can get a nice clone, and we can just melt this thing down. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go and I'm going to blow up this side wall so we can just jump in there if needed. And I'm just going to blow up all of this other stuff. Because Greymane does a lot of damage, so it's kind of nice to be able to just get this extra damage out for your team. It's okay to use aggressive clones like this, even for things that aren't team fights. I think people, whoa, he should not be using a life binder on me. I was just a clone. Maybe he didn't realize that. That's fine, though. You don't want to use any resources to save your clone, and you want the enemies to use resources to kill the clone, which is why it's something that's really powerful. I'm going to step up so we get experience, but then I'm also going to switch back to viewing my team, see if we can get a kill. We weren't able to secure the kill, but you could see we were able to take an entire fort out of this, and we did get a kill on a bear, as well as we didn't really lose anything. I am taking some more damage again. I'm just going to grab a fountain, back up, and then probably hang out a little bit. I want to make sure that we can deal with this camp without it getting anything. So far, so good on that. They haven't gotten anything with this camp, and it pretty much just kept the waves pushed into me to get more experience. So probably a mistake on the enemy's part to get that camp in the first place. I will try to speed this up for Chen by using a couple little traps. I should help out quite a bit. Looks like they're going to go for a gank in here, so I may end up jumping top lane and help out. But for now, my goal is to try to save this tower, so I'm going to just put some shields on it, and I want to make sure no one dies, but I also want to try to save this tower. Like, if I can save that tower, they don't get any experience. Unfortunately, they did get the 250 experience from getting that. We are pushing a lane mid lane. I'm just going to help kind of speed this up a little bit. So if I can help speed up this push, then it's going to distract them, force them to go into lanes that they didn't want to go to in the first place. But I also will want to try to keep an eye on this Diablo while I'm pushing. So he doesn't need my help. I'm going to go back, push mid lane again, and keep just applying pressure in multiple lanes. We do see a fight coming in here. I'm going to simply clone this Greymane once again, and I'm going to get right on their back line and see what I can do about scaring these guys off. And we're going to get on this. Nice. He pushed me in the perfect direction, too. Now, again, they wasted resources on me. I didn't waste any resources other than just a 70-second ult. They got no experience out of my death, but we got experience out of their deaths. So that's the greatest part about this. This Diablo is going to die, though. I can summon a mule just to tank a couple shots for him, but unfortunately he is... Oh, a life binder was good, and you can see the mule is now tanking shots for him right there. It's a little trick you can do. This guy's going through hell, honestly. We are able to save him. That was incredible. I'm going to go and heal the Chen first. And it looks like the Greymane may go down. I'm going to get another big heal on Greymane. And that was a really, really good fight for us. It started off really bad. The mule did tank a couple shots. Probably was the difference between a dead Diablo and not. But it's pretty good for us. Now, you can give shield and heal minions as well with your passive, so it's okay to do that while pushing. You just got to make sure that your team doesn't need it. I like going movement speed because it's nice if you can give movement speed to someone like a Diablo, and then he can get in a perfect position to like smash someone. And I also want to get some vision over here for when they take their camp, so utilizing your W's for vision is also really, really nice. You can see how the game gets later on, and I care less about gaining experience, and I care more about giving shields to my team, joining my team in every team fight, because ultimately death timers are more important late game rather than experience. So that's why I change how I play, and you see how I'm not focusing on soaking too much unless we get close to a talent tier, and then I'll change my mentality and start focusing on soaking. So in this case, we have an objective going on the bottom lane. I can Z up to top lane if I want to, and I can start adding some pressure up to top lane. So if the minion waves ever get up here, it's pretty free. I can just get those. I want to make sure that my mule's going someplace, so I'm just going to place it here for now. And I also do want to keep heals going on my team at all times. If a fight does start showing up, I will want to use my evolution before the fight starts happening. In this case, we do see them committing to this fight, so I will use an ultimate evolution. And I'm just going to hop right into their backline once again, like I've been doing. And it should be a nice way to approach. I'm just going to leave from there. And I'm just going to jump on this bear, actually. Get some value, possibly kill off a bear, which will be kind of nice. And we're just kind of distracting him, honestly. Like, we did a lot of damage. We distracted him. I didn't need to heal this particular target because it's only a Chen dummy. And I'm going to Z my way over here. The entire team is really distracted, so I'm going to see if I can get some experience in another lane. This could likely get us closer to level 20, and it's also going to apply pressure in a lane that they're not in. So it's going to be a really powerful way for us to get any sort of value. I shielded right before he took damage. It's not necessarily for the heal, it's just to kind of prevent some of the effect that he's doing. My next mule is going to go down here just to prevent any extra chance of them winning this objective and getting any sort of experience lead out of it. So back onto this, I will want to save this Diablo, but he did get a life binder, so that's really good for us. And I'm going to try to heal this gray main, make sure that he doesn't die to something really dumb. And I will Z down to mid lane so we can get this entire wave of experience and get closer to level 20. So I am still soaking. I'm just soaking the safe lanes, and I'm soaking when they're really pushing in rather than doing aggressive soaking every time that I'm trying to get us to like major tiers. This time I'm just doing anything that's safe. As you can see, this is a very safe soak. All the minions are distracted by hitting other minions while I'm just kind of slapping away. And I also have the pressure that I've already applied earlier up there. I will want to give some experience in here, and I possibly will even want to clone so that we can get a structure very quickly. And we do have a dragon that was popped as well. I'm just going to jump over to the other turret, burn that thing down really quickly. And everything, like in this case, this bear is going to go down, as well as I'm just going to jump right on this and get as much structure damage as possible. So you can see it's very, very easy structure damage. I don't care if he drains from me. He's using his resources on the wrong person. And once again, we've gotten a lot of value. Level 20, I like to get Hive Mind. Allows me to use all of these things that I've been gaining value for one person. Now it goes on 2 people, giving the movement speed, the heals, the shields, everything onto 2 people at a time. It's very, very valuable, and it makes it to where you can really get 2 people in a fight or 2 people out of a fight whenever you need to. And that's pretty much how Abathur works. You can see the XP contribution. I'm doing way more than anyone on either team, allowing our team to really focus on other things while I worry about the soak for them. I pretty much get the majority of my soak while an objective's going on, so I can do it pretty safely. As you see, I have no deaths, because why would the enemies waste their time trying to get to me when it's going to make the objective a 4v4? And I can always just leave, so there's a good chance they're not actually going to be able to kill me. So it's just a really, really powerful build. It gets a lot of value early on, and it's really nice. I love the healing build Abathur. It's if you guys are trying out Aba, I would highly recommend doing this build. I'm not going to say it's an easy build. He's a pretty difficult champion. It's a lot of managing of the map. It's a lot of figuring out what is going on where. And it's also knowing when to clone, because if you clone too late in a fight, it's just wasted. If you clone too early, it's just wasted. But if you clone right as a fight is getting started, the enemies will waste their resources on the clone instead of on one of your allies, and it's pretty much a guaranteed teamfight win. Purely because all the resources are wasted on a hero that dies that still is going to be helping out their team even after they're dead. So it's just definitely a beneficial thing you're going to want to do. You can place some traps around here, get some value in different areas. Oh, that was a nice interrupt. We can add some burst. Another thing that's great about the dual symbiote is your abilities hit twice. So if you have 2 people that are diving in like a Greymane and a Diablo, that means that when you Q onto someone, your W and your Q can hit someone twice, because there's 2 different sets of them on each person. So it's really, really nice. We have a wave pushing up here. I'm simply going to go up here. I'm going to place 3 traps up here and a mule and see how long we can defend that. And I'm also just going to help out as long as possible with my team as they're pushing for mid. You can see the mule is defending this as much as it can, as well as the traps already blew up a decent chunk of these. It's a nice way to hold camps when the team is thinking that they're doing really well in the macro play, and you can kind of just hold it off for your team anyways. While their Brightwing's dead, we could clone and take a fight here, and we are above levels, so I'm actually just going to clone, and we're just going to go right into this. We're just going to jump in, and I'm just going to hit the structures, and I'm going to take the shots for the team so we can get a lot of damage off on this fort. As you can see, I'm taking all the hits for the team. This is going to be a very, very easy keep. Now we have a middle keep. We have a way how to start pressuring for the late game, and I'm going to ping them back as well because I'm not actually on a real hero here. And we are able to get them out. I actually am in a little bit of an issue here, but I should be able to get everyone out. You see this extra movement speed that we're getting is really nice. And I've got Mule back up. Hopefully I can use the Mule. Nah, I wasn't able to get it out there fast enough. And I am actually having trouble with this camp. Good thing that the allies are going to come up here soon. And we do have a ton of pressure in mid and bot lane, so this is really good for us. Yeah, don't be afraid to use your clone just for small things. Like, if you're trying to siege something, it's nice to have that 5th body there that can tank tower shots for the team because it's just an extra body that doesn't actually matter. So it's really good. I'm going to get some vision in the few areas that the enemies might approach, as well as I'll likely go back bottom lane once again to just keep pressuring in other lanes that the objective is not in, followed by the fact that I am still going to try to get heals off on everyone, as well as anything else that I can. I'm still going to get... this is actually pretty good. But watch that burst damage that we can do. Now, we have a big ult here. Everyone's going to be split. We want to make sure that everyone that we want safe is safe. So we get some shields, some heals. Chen comes back with full health, full mana. Oh, well, full energy anyways. And we are back onto this objective. Heals are going out. Enemies finally have level 20, and they should have the Nazebo level 20, which is where this actually gets scary. But unfortunately for them, we already have such a large advantage that it does not matter. So I'm simply going to go up here, get a little bit more experience, and again, you can see I'm just body soaking this whole lane while I'm up here, even though I'm actually going to be over here assisting my team. And that's really where the power of Abathur comes in, is you can be very, very beneficial to your team, constantly healing them, and just getting so much. I'm not exactly sure who I want to clone here. I think that the Greymane clone would be the best for core sieging, so we're going to just stick with the Greymane once again, jump on it, and I'm just actually not going to care about anything here. I'm going to go straight for the core. I'm going to get as much damage off on the core as possible, let them waste their resources and the core shots on me while the Punisher is doing work. I'm then going to get some big heals off on the back line over here, toss down a little thing to block some core shots. As you can see, it's going to... Oh, it didn't end up blocking core shots because we won already. But I would have done the same thing that I did in an earlier keep where I used the Mule to block core shots. And that is what I focus on Abathur in general. Side soaking to get our team a lead, making sure that I join my team for 5v5s, and then giving them large sustained healing, movement speed, and extra damage during fights at any point during the fight. It's a very powerful way to play. He gets a lot of siege damage, even if you're not in a siege damage build. 134,000 siege damage, and I never actually went any siege talents. It was simply my minions that helped out, my W's that would clear up waves, and then me holding my own while I was there. And that's just about it. So that is Abathur. I highly recommend, if you guys wanted to try Abathur, test out this playstyle. It's really fun, and it just gets a ton of value throughout many games that have objectives that can be far away from a specific wave, so you can always soak a wave away from an objective and still help your team. It's really, really nice. Thank you all for watching.